Welcome to the fascinating world of traffic signals and traffic infrastructure. Today we are in Biloxi, also Harrison County, Mississippi, also home to the world's largest man-made beach. And the reason why this beach was created, it was actually a seawall at first, and it's to protect Highway 90 here. And the highways running through or along the coastline from flooding and hurricanes. And today I want to go over a few of the things we have to do here on the Gulf Coast to defend ourselves against these hurricanes and tide levels. Now, if we're talking about certain hurricanes like Katrina, there's almost nothing you can do about that. This entire area would have been underwater at that time during the storm, so we cannot really defend against that. But for the more typical and average storms, there's a lot we can do, and let's go over a few of those things in this video. So that beautiful beach and water we have behind us is salt water. So all of our poles on the Mississippi Gulf Coast and pretty much everywhere in the United States are going to be galvanized to protect themselves against rust, while a lot of the other equipment like this cabinet you see here is going to be aluminum. Another thing, it will oxidize, but it will not rust, and it holds up a lot better inside in these certain areas and weather conditions than normal steel would. So everything is galvanized plus powder coated or aluminum, something that's not going to rust. The thing we have started doing here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast is upgrading to something like cameras that are up on these mast arms for vehicle detection instead of inductive loops that are cut in the asphalt and then going into these pool boxes that fill up with sand and also get flooded pretty often by the beach. So this whole area floods, it could impact those inductive loops, but with these new cameras up on top of the mast arms, it is less likely to be damaged during a storm. During recent hurricanes, we have learned that we are not prepared on the traffic signal controller cabinet side and on these foundations. This is a typical foundation and a typical traffic signal controller cabinet. And at the time, with more recent hurricanes recently, the storm surge has still brought it up too high, and it is covering these enclosures with water, salt water, which can damage all the components on the inside and kind of ruin the entire enclosure plus all of the equipment on the inside. So we have new practices on foundations here on the coastline, and let's travel down to an intersection where it's new and improved foundations, and let's take a good look at that will defend against certain storm surges. Also, do not forget to hit the like button for this beautiful view back here behind me. Let's get right over to this other intersection. Another thing we can do to try to fend off rising storm surges due to hurricanes is elevate our traffic signal controller cabinet foundations. As you can see from that first little clip over at Porter Avenue and Highway 90, how that foundation was sitting real close to the ground. You can see that this foundation is elevated up higher to try to keep this cabinet safe from a rising storm surge here on the beach. Yes, it could have been placed over on the north side. And for everybody that's going to comment and ask why I placed the cabinet here on the south side of the intersection, I'm not the city planner, so I cannot tell you that. I don't have a clue. But this is the placement they came up with, and they have elevated this foundation and set the cabinet on top to really help out against storm surges on the majority of hurricanes. Again, something like Hurricane Katrina, there's almost nothing you can do to really defend your equipment and your supplies and everything against a storm like that. Mother Nature just takes it away. But on the majority of them, this is some little extra steps and precautions we can do to help protect our equipment and to help keep y'all safe on your daily commute. Thanks for watching.